would now like to call upon Dr. Satish Rudrappa, parent of Samhit Vaidya of the graduating batch, to share with us the parents' perspective. Dr. Satish Rudrappa is one of the most eminent and distinguished senior neurosurgeons in India. At present, he is the director of the Institute of Neurosciences at Sakra World Hospital, Bangalore, and is also a visiting professor of neurosurgery at Hokkaido University, Japan. Dr. Rudrappa has many achievements to his credit and was awarded the Kempegowda Award in 2011 for community service for upgrading primary health at Whitefield, Bangalore.
First of all, I should thank the principal, the director, chairman of this school for having invited me on this occasion of graduation for this young, budding, beautiful, tall, strong, young people. All of them have grown taller than their parents, and their only thing is I'm not finding the smile in them. And this world is full of smile. Smile. World is beautiful. It all depends on you people. So this is the beginning of my lecture. Can anybody guess it? What it is? So when the coordinator of the school sent me a message that I should speak on the behalf as one of the parents, I was wondering, why did they select me? There are so many wonderful parents who have attended every PTM. I've attended only 2 in my whole life. Why did they call me? And I was wondering what to speak. What to speak about the millennials who are 21st century people. I'm a 20th century man. And what to speak? You all in the era, I was born in an era without telephone, without television. You are born with everything. So then I thought, let me see her letter, what exactly it mentioned. Let me go to the next slide. So she has mentioned to me that Dr. Satish, you have to talk about your personal journey of success, and so that the students will imbibe something. I was wondering, what did I achieve? What did I achieve so much which I can speak about? There are so many parents here, who have achieved much more than me. Please excuse me if I speak anything different, and I'll be talking on your behalf of the few things which we all adapted so that we can live a beautiful, wonderful, we led a good life, and I'm sure the youngsters will also learn very well. And in fact, these slides I prepared for the youngsters, but they're all looking that side. Please look at this, some of the slides which might benefit to a certain extent to you. Okay, let me go to the next slide. So how many of you want to be successful here? Please raise your hands. Wow, everybody wants to be successful. Muthu, you want to be? Yeah, I understand you. Yeah. So, what is success? Success is a measure of succeeding. This is the dictionary one. Favorable or desired outcome. And it also mentions attainment of the wealth, favor, or eminence. All of you want it, right? Who doesn't want? Raise your hands. Anybody? Oh, everybody wants it. This I'm not talking about it today, unfortunately, because I have not still understood the success. Let me go to the next one. Happiness. How many of you want to be happy? Raise your hand. Some of them have not lifted the hand. Very good. Here? Everybody wants to be happy. So what is happiness? It is a state of well-being and contentment. It is a joy. It is a pleasurable or satisfying experience. What you have to have in this world is not the success, it is the happiness. When they called me for this talk, and when I put this, I was mentioning myself, am I happy to talk to these people, or am I successful? Believe me, I'm very happy. I will share some of the things, at the end. You made me to go back to my 18 years and come forward. It's a flashback I'm giving you. Next slide. So, success is peace of mind. Very important. It is not the status. Is the direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing what you made the effort to do your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming. So, success is just an attitude. You understand? Success is just an attitude. I'm sure most of you are much more well versed than what I was at 18-year-old. Okay, next. So, success in the life could be defined as the continued expansion of happiness and the progressive realization of the worthy goals rather than just studying, earning, buying a, best cell phone or a Ferrari in your future with a mansion on the Malibu Island. It's not the success. Okay, next slide, please. So, young boys and girls, life is a marathon. It's a long way to go. You're just the beginning. You're in the beginning. To reach that tape, it takes long time. Cool down. Your 12th standard exam is just a part of it. Don't be too tense. You have to cross, in the marathon, what they do, in the beginning, they don't run faster. You have to run slow, and one day, in between, you have to run faster to reach the goal. Everybody will reach the goal. Ultimately, you have to complete that marathon. Next. Being a neuroscientist, I will tell you how the things go. Next slide, next. This is a beautiful brain. How many of you have seen brain here? Anybody has seen a live brain? Oh, except the young boy there, and there is a couple of them. Very good. Excellent. So the brain is a beautiful organ. It's a very soft organ. If you touch it, it is like a dough, and you can put your finger through that, it will not have a pain. It is such a beautiful organ, but whole your life revolves around it. So the next slide, between 18 to 25 is a different brain. What you have to achieve is, when you are from the birth to 18 years, what your teachers have given is multiple information which is in the neocortex. We say outer cortex, which is the one which has imbibed all the knowledge in you. And you are naughty, you are focusing, you are studying, you are doing everything is purely because of the outer brain, what you are seeing, which is seen as soon as you open the skull. But what you have to do from 18 to 25 is the crucial age of yours to become the best citizens of anywhere in the world, is to awaken your inner brain. The inner brain is the deeper part of the brain which makes you compassionate, as our chief guest was telling. Wisdom will come and you'll become a very successful people with happiness. So I will tell you how to make it and how, when retrospectively I thought, and how I achieved it. Next. So the brain has a beautiful development. When we do the EEG, that's called electroencephalography, to see the waves of the brain, from each year it is different. What I am now talking is, I will not go through each one of them. Above 80 years is what is called as this part of the brain called prefrontal area. You have to make it mature. When it makes you mature, you'll become mature everywhere in the world, and whatever you touch, it blossoms into beauty, and success will come to you rather than you going to that. Okay? So this, how did I learn? I will tell you the next story. Next. So happiness is the key. When you want the happiness, press the button please. Education gives the happiness. What are the ingredients of the happiness? Education is mandatory, that all of you achieve. I think up to the 12th standard is only education. After that, no teacher will handhold you. What you get is a small tip of iceberg and some guidance, but after 18 years, no teacher will tell you, what to write, how to do. None of your parent will be called. You are all by yourself. No parent-teacher meeting anymore. Okay? So, next is, what you have to add is empathy, which all your teachers have taught you. Next is the compassion, which your parents have shown you. And next is the gratitude. When you have these four components, especially gratitude to the people who have given birth to you, that is your parents, the teachers who have given knowledge to you, and the nation which gave birth to you. When you give back that gratitude, that is the completion of your life. That is the wisdom he was talking, from the Chief Justice. So how did I got into these? Believe me, these are not my slides. I just wanted to talk to you people. I evolved myself, to be frank with you. Next. So I will tell you my journey. Go ahead. So my teacher, once again, is my teachers in my primary school who made me what I am today. Nobody else. Okay, what did my teacher tell you? Every day she used to tell me, concentrate in the school. What she meant, focus. Give attention to whatever you want to do. Then she told me, remain one step ahead, only one step. If you're 10 steps ahead, your ego comes into picture. My teacher, I will tell you who is my teacher, who always taught me these few things. And be visionary. Give the best in every opportunity you get. Then, whatever you do should be for others. That is, socially, you should be relevant. Next, never overexpress your deeds. That means control your ego. So that comes from now onwards. Till here, you are fighting each other, hit each other. I know how many of you in the sleepover in my house, you created a ruckus. I wanted to talk about it, but unfortunately they gave me a different topic. I'm talking about it, okay? So, my teacher told me only one thing. Vidyan labate gnanam. Means, education is what? It has to give enlightenment to you. What is enlightenment? Means, you developed as a beautiful citizen. That's what your teachers want. That's what your parents want. That is what education has to do for you. Next. So, education, go ahead. It ultimately, my teacher was telling 4 factors to me. Attention and self-control till the age of 25. What? Till the age of 25, not 18. You are not finished yet. You are beginning of the marathon. Then, if you do that, then you will get to know yourself, self-awareness will come. With the self-awareness, you will get the self-worthiness. Means, you will achieve the best of the education with the best of the position you wanted, and whatever you dreamt, it will come to you, and then you apply that to social awareness. This is what the education NPS has given you. I bet you this is what the fundamental they started. Next slide. So I will tell you how to go about it. My dream at 18 years, when you were there, in your age, wanted to be a doctor, not a neurosurgeon. I wanted to be a neurosurgeon when I was 23 old. How many of you want to be a doctor here? Raise your hands. Wow, look at that statistics. So nice. All of you know that it's such a hard work. You will get your first full meal at the age of 42. That's why you don't want to do it. I will tell my story. Yeah, exactly. That's why everybody wants to be CEO, CFO. So that because from the day one, your perks are paid, your car door is opened by a chauffeur. Very good. So, and the second dream I wanted to have is a teacher. So when I took neurosurgery, it is a fantastic story. Excuse me, madam, I might take few more minutes. So when I took neurosurgery in my institution, I graduated from Hubli, and it is only 4 seats were available to the whole country. And in the 4th seat, luckily, because of God's will and teacher's blessing, mine was the first. And half of my classmates called me. Listen, don't clap now yet. I'm not finished yet. I will tell you this story. Half of my classmates called me. Man, you're taking neurosurgery? I said, yeah, I want to be a neurosurgeon. Everybody's telling those patients who go walking come horizontal, and those who are horizontal will never come back. And you're choosing such a field. That was in 1990. I'm not talking in 1930. I'm not so old. I'm still your age, but they made me a parent. So somehow I took it, but because I was determined at the age of 23, when I saw the first brain in a cadaver, I was fascinated. Then it had a long learning curve to attain the precision, because I work at 1 millimeter distance. My whole hand just works at this minute, in hours together. For my surgeries varies from 8 to 14 hours. Even today I work longer than all of you what you are studying. I work 16 hours a day. So, and I got a fantastic training in the National Institute of NIMHANS in Bangalore. But still, I was not precise when I graduated, because we were all studying the textbooks which are written in US, textbooks which are written in UK, and we are practicing the neurosurgery here. So whenever we used to read the articles in the journal, my dream was, man, we are not up to the mark. Means I had a hunger. That was the attention and the focus, still not completed. And to become any dream, you should always have perfect skill acquisition. All of you want to be CEO after your bachelor degree. No way. You have to acquire such a skill that people should come and give you the job rather than you going and asking for the job. So to achieve the skill acquisition, you have to struggle more. So I studied up to the age of 42. So what the age? 42. Next. So I took USMLE at the age of 37. Seeing that I had to go to the US, I had to learn something more and come back. And luckily I passed. Everything was my own hard-earned money. Whatever the little bit I was getting, not like your parents, we were all not, many of the parents here have come from a different background. And our era, it was a different era. Next. So excuse me for this. And what I had to do is, as a neurosurgeon, is we had to spend innumerable hours in the cadaver lab to see every nerve, every part of the tissue, I have to see three-dimensional picture because each neurosurgery, we do it in a different position. I had to have visual memory before I touch the patient that which part of the brain I'm going to touch. Because we have to touch in 1 millimeter distance only. So to do that, I have to do this. And everybody in the funeral home used to call me which head I will get next day because it has to be fresh head to operate to get the mimicness of the surgery. Next. So I spent hours together, day and night. You can ask my wife. I used to always spend in the lab touching every part of this brain, exactly mimicking the surgery, what I will do in the operation theater. So my lab had every microscope, every ultrasound, what is required so that I can learn each and everything. So next. So I got my fellowship, both in skull-based surgery and the spine. Next. And I couldn't stay in US. I had a job of $500,000. My boss wouldn't allow me. Suddenly one day I decided neither my body looks like an American, nor my thought looks like an American. And my way of being a doctor is to touch the patient, to hug the patient, to tap the patient, and to talk to them in their local language. Then I thought, this is not the way I want to be. Then one day I told my wife, I'm leaving. You know, we went with a thinking that we may not come back. I said within 3 years, I said, no, I'm going back. And then at the same time, go back. So so still I'm in the attention and self-control. I have not moved from that barrier. So at that time, I came to this beautiful palace. How many of you have seen this? This is not a palace which you people danced, you know. This is the palace, it's the Satya Sai Hospital. It is a charity hospital in the Whitefield where we do the free surgeries. And I worked as a first neurosurgeon for 5 years continuously. And we have done a wonderful work and purely for the experience and the self-control I had. The people who didn't have the vision, we gave the vision. People who couldn't walk, we made them walk. And whatever my friends said vanished from by the time I came back because I could do the surgery in one day, send the patient on the next day. Next. And then I started thinking about being the teacher. I started teaching whatever I knew, a bit by bit, to teach everywhere in the world, in the lab, to the doing operative surgery, every part of the world. I go now and do live surgery. Next. So I conduct many courses around the world and I keep doing because it is a social awareness I am doing. What is I acquired the knowledge, I had to put it in the social relevance. And I start teaching everywhere and I have students from Indonesia to Hong Kong, to Canada, to Australia. Wherever I go, I have completed full continents. So that is the worthiness of this India gave me, and I understood that I am worth, I can spread the knowledge to this India to anywhere in the world. Next. So after this, when I came, the Toyota first started its first hospital in the world. And most Japanese came to me when I was operating in one of the hospitals. He said, you ask me whatever you want, we will get you. And today I'm in this hospital. It has the equipment of the highest order. What is there not in, what is not in US? Many of my friends who are in US neurosurgeons, even the, Caucasians, they come and tell me, man, how can you get all the things which I am not having? So when I operate, I will have the technology, what is there around the world, the latest technology to make every patient better. Next. So after that, once I achieved my goal, then I thought, what else I can contribute back to the society? Then I started a NGO called as Sukriya. Sukriya means do a good deed. So I call this as IRS. There is a CSR program, you must have heard, corporate social responsibility. This is individual social responsibility. This is my responsibility for having studied in this place. My teachers have given everything to me. Then I thought I should do something and I should never refuse any patient irrespective of what they are, irrespective of their economic standards. I treat every patient, whoever it is, and I made my team also run in the same way. So all these patients you are seeing are the patients who underwent a free surgeries in my hand. And innumerable patients, crores of rupees we are doing. Still, I've earned enough what I want. I can take care of my son and 2 children beautifully by giving everything. That means by giving to the society, you will take more, you will never lose anything. Next. So in addition, after that, I started getting the recognition from around the world. I got the FRCS recent 2 years ago. I did not take any exam. Purely because of the activities which I am doing around the world, I got the recognition. The Japan people gave me visiting professorship. So once you concentrate And once you're socially responsible, success will come to you. You don't have to chase it. Next. So I started teaching around the world. This is yet another one. Once again, is the social responsibility. Next. So we started publishing the book around the world, which goes around, and I write everything what I know and publish these books. Next. I thought that I'm happy. I was thinking, I was sitting in the Haneda airport in Japan and suddenly thought, what else I can do? I'm still young, like you people. What else I can do? That was a soul search which is happening to me. Then world came as happiness. I was thinking about which is the country which has the happiness index. Then came Bhutan into my picture. When I Googled, I found that Bhutan has no neurosurgeon, no spine surgeon. Then immediately from the airport, I wrote a mail to one of the Rotarians there. I didn't know anybody. Then immediately they said, I started thinking about Indo-Bhutan program. The health minister called me. They accepted me within one day, saying that we need you. This just happened 2 weeks ago. So that is how, when you do the good deed, it just, goes on. You don't have to get anybody's help. The divine power helps you, your teacher's blessing helps you, your parents' blessing helps you, you pass in a greater way. Next. So, in addition, I'm doing another program for the society now. I'm coming out with the app called as Epilepsy Prevention and Integrated Program, because epilepsy is a big disease and we are going to do it within next 3 months to launch in every school in the state. Free of cost, every teacher will identify epileptic patient. We will be treating free of cost in my hospital under my guidance. Next. So, I also do leadership program for the young people because I have innumerable students and all of you can be future leaders of the world. And how I imbibe all the things, I give it back by doing the leadership program. I'm sure many of you will be leaders in the future, like your chief guest who has come as a student here talking. Tomorrow you might be talking of NPS University. That's what, and university will have from robotics to everything. So, culminate in such a way that think beautifully, work for the society. Next. This is what I've built the team. Each one of them, I can vouch and tell you, they're the wonderful surgeons today and the great contributors to society. This is my team. So, I'm passing the baton now and moving on to the next episode. Next. And recently, in Canada, they did an interview for me. I thought what I should talk about is lifelong learning. Learning never ends. Learning never ends. And as long as you're learning, you contribute more to the society. Next. So what I'm bothered here is in my era, it was just between the two humans. There was just a discrimination. People used to do that. If I make that discrimination to go narrow, I would have succeeded. In your era, there is no differentiation between the two humans. There will be between the human and humanoid, there is a robot. So humans are becoming irrelevant. Think differently. Do differently. Because most of the jobs are going nowadays, even in the hospital, we are looking at how to replace the nurse with a robot. So unless you are very good and very wisdom you get and socially relevant, you might miss the chance. Next. This is a beautiful quote from, go back, yeah. Charles Darwin. It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change is the successful man. So in that way, I will conclude. Next. So in conclusion, develop happiness, with education, empathy, compassion and gratitude. Contribute more to the society. Make sure your parents are happy, your teachers are happy, and the nation is happy. You will get whatever you want. Thank you very much. Next. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rudrappa, for sharing with us your interesting thoughts which would have inspired our students.